Hello guys, this is Ayush from Technical Council, and today we have another club here as a part of our video series in which we're going to be interviewing the different clubs of our campus. And today we have with us the one club that I'm sure all of you know about. So be it Festivus Page, be it the Beer Factory of Pragyan, or the many other sites that you have heard of, or Delta Winter of Code. So we have this one club with us, and it's Delta, the coding club of NIT Trichy. Joining us today will be two core members from Delta, Sandhya and Mario. So let's bring them on. Hello Sandhya, hello Mario.
Yeah,
Welcome.
hello.
Hi.
So how are you both doing?
We're great. Making the most of the lockdown, I guess.
That's nice. That's nice. How's Delta work going?
Yeah,
It's
going
going
great.
the same way. Yeah.
Okay, so about
And we have a
Delta,
great set there. Yeah.
how long have you been a part of Delta?
Oh, I've been part of Delta since second year, the beginning of
So
second
it's
year.
been so it's been 2 years and running.
Okay, so I hear that in Delta you don't have a head kind of structure, right? So what is this organizational hierarchy in Delta?
Yeah, so this in Delta we have something called a flat hierarchy, where there is no concept of heads or president or treasurer or whatever. I find this. I've been part of many teams, and this is very unique to Delta. That I find something which is very astonishing and very great to be part of a club. We believe that age is no bar to learning and contributing to a functioning of a club. So all activities within the club internally are transparent to everyone, and each and everyone will be accountable and responsible for every decision and all the projects that are being taken up by the club. Yeah. So Sanjay, do you want to add anything to this?
Well, not much. Just that the entire batch of final years is considered as the core to coordinate with the administration and other clubs. But there is no distinction within the club whatsoever between the batches with respect to the internal decision-making process.
Yeah, just for namesake, for administrative purposes, we have a so-called namesake core members. But internally, there is no hierarchy or whatsoever, which I find really, unique to Delta.
Right. So talking about Delta's projects, I'm sure you've done a lot of projects in this course of 2 years. So would you like to share us some of the major works that Delta has done over this period?
Okay, so here at Delta, we are basically responsible for the maintenance of the institute website. We develop the website, the app, the games, and the associated infrastructure required for the smooth functioning of fests such as, well, as you all know, Festember, Pragyan, NIT Fest, AVEC, and yeah. So we also have online events like Inferno, Code Character, Dalal Street, Beer Factory, Pragyan Premier League, Capture the Flag. All of these are part of the fest which I just mentioned, and all of these are developed by us. So we also work on several projects for the administration, like the scholarship portal, the pre-course registration portal, and we also work on projects for external organizations like Teach for India, Central Square Foundation, etc. We are also very passionate about our personal projects, which stems from the members of the club constantly pitching project ideas on which multiple people collaborate to build things ground up. Another important aspect is all of us, we regularly participate in hackathons like In-Out, at India, Google Hackathon, India Singapore Hackathon. We take part in competitive programming contests like ACM ICPC, Google Code Jam. Then there's Facebook Hacker Cup. Then there are Capture the Flag contests we take part in, like in CTF, Microsoft Build the Shield, and also open source programs like Google Summer of Code, Mozilla Winter of Security. And in fact, we've also had members give talks at reputed conferences like PyCon, Processing Community Day, etc. So we
And
also
yeah,
conduct.
coming to
Yeah.
works like works that we do as Delta, are some of the events like Delta Algos Bootcamp, where we teach algos to first year students, and the Hacker Talks, where we talk about really really cutting edge or very exciting technology to people. And as Delta, we also conduct event like the Delta Winter of Code, which is actually a really good initiative, to encourage open source culture among people. We mentor projects there and help people, to get a good idea about the different projects that are open source. Uh, yeah, these are basically an overall structure of what we do here. You can also check out delta.nitt.edu, to stay up to date about what kind of work we do and what all projects that we have worked upon till now.
That sounds really interesting. That sounds like you guys have a lot of different stuff that you do. So, as a part of all these projects, so I'm sure you had to work with a lot of different fields and technologies, right? So, could you share some details about that? Like, what are the different fields and technologies that you have to work with?
Mario,
Yeah,
you go.
So coming to fields and technologies, one thing that I have to make clear first of all is that we are not restricted to web development, app development, sysads, and open profile. The profiles that we induct people into. So once you get into the club, that becomes irrelevant. And next thing is that we explore niche technologies that have potential to create an impact, and we find those technologies and we definitely look into it. We constantly discuss about their pros and cons before starting a project, whether we have to use that or not, or stuff like that. And also we make a point to utilize such technologies to match the industry standards. We follow practices like agile development and DevOps. So these kind of things that we do, makes the projects not only gets it done in timely manner, but it also ensures that they're maintainable by the upcoming batches. For example, we still have some projects, which were developed by our seniors or super seniors or people whose names we don't even know, and we still use them because they are, following industry standards or cutting edge technologies at that time, which is relevant now. So apart from this, many members of our team, also work on machine learning, AI, blockchain, virtual reality, open source software, etc., etc. So basically, you name some technology, there is already a member who has done extensive work on it. So yeah, as a club, we don't believe in limiting our members to just certain fields or certain aspects of programming or coding, because the technology as a whole is ever growing. So we also want our members to be ever growing, and we in fact urge them to push their potential themselves.
Damn. Okay. So, Sandhya, you mentioned that you guys also take up a lot of personal projects which you like to do. So, what are the personal development that one can look forward to when he's a part of Delta?
Well, according to me, Delta Force is more than just a programming club. So we organize regular scrums that let members share what they've explored, and they even get how others think and share experiences, which improves or makes them a better team player. So once you enter a firm, right, so scrums become a part of all teams that you're going to be a part of. And the stuff that is being shared is often so advanced that sometimes we have to go back and Google what someone was talking about. We also have internal hackathons that enable collaboration with each other. And we have lightning talks, which are about 5 to 10 minutes long. And these talks are about niche areas of technology. So if you're passionate about teaching or you would like to improve public speaking, you can totally go for this one. And not only that, so like Mario mentioned earlier, we learn the best coding practices, but more importantly, we learn how to manage projects and how to respect each other's ideas, how to work under pressure to meet deadlines. And Mario, you probably have something to add on. You belong to the civil department. It must have been,
Yeah,
you must
yeah,
have.
exactly. Yeah, so personally, being a non-circuital guy, especially from the civil department, Delta, I can proudly say that Delta has made me who I am today. So before getting into Delta, during my first year, I was very, very new to coding when the induction process started, and right from induction process, Delta has always been about learning, and I learned a lot with respect to app dev during my inductions. And once I got into the club, it was actually very overwhelming to see all those CS people talk about a lot of crazy stuff and all. But then little by little, I was able to get a grasp over web dev and move on to system administration, and then learn about MLA. I do projects in that, and I've also managed a lot of big projects for Delta. So right from my first internship, which was in a which was in a startup by a Delta alumni. Delta, has been guiding me throughout. Yep. So yeah,
Okay.
that is
So,
my
about
personal growth from because of Delta. So I hope it does the same thing to everyone aspiring, to be part of Delta.
Right. So about your journey so far, what would you describe as the main perks of being in Delta?
Uh,
Well, Well, for one,
there are,
I would say the peer group. We have a really like nice peer group. Everyone's a tech enthusiast, and we learn a lot from each other. The way we interact, just conversations give us so many insights, and not just that, we get access to 24/7 high speed LAN, and we also
a
get
separate
access
room.
to a separate room, yes. And we also get access to 24 core servers, which, lets us experiment and host our own projects. And we also have a very strong alumni network. So, they give us a lot of insights themselves. They share a lot of knowledge. And yeah, that helps us a lot in terms of personal growth. And yeah, I guess those are the perks.
Right. So about open source, I heard about Delta Winter of Code, but I'm sure many of the people here don't know what it is. So could you explain it to them what Delta Winter of Code is all about and how one can participate in it?
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, go ahead, Sanjay.
Okay. Yeah, so Delta Winter Code is a winter-long program, as you can see from the name. And what it aims to do is it aims to support and improve the culture of open source software around us. And this is really a platform for young student developers or even starters to hone their technical skills by taking up projects of their interest. So, what we really aim to do is to encourage this collaborative experience and allow students from all backgrounds to contribute to quality technical projects from various fields. So, if you really want to participate in this program, to anyone out there, make sure you've signed up with us at twoc.io. Get familiar with the project you want to contribute to by interacting with the mentors on the community channels. Submit proposals to the projects before the deadline, and you can even ask your mentors to review your proposals. And these mentors will shortlist people who get to contribute to these amazing projects during the winter. And successful participants are even awarded certificates. So, another thing we're really happy to share is that one of the participants of this program got selected in Google Summer of Code under the CERN organization, and we're really glad that our program has helped in his open source journey.
Yeah, I would also like to add a point here. So we can't talk about DWork without addressing, open source software. So open source software has always been this greatest gift to, I would say, it's a greatest gift to humanity. There is this Linux operating system or whatever. There are great, open source softwares that power the entire world. So we wanted to, give back to the community and to, encourage the culture of open source. So that is why DWork was, ideated, and that is why it is being, conducted by Delta every year.
Right. So that's all the good stuff about being in Delta. So what would you say are the main drawbacks of being in Delta? What issues or problems do you have?
Oh, well, if you're enthusiastic about learning new technological domains and if you're willing to put in the effort for the same, I would say the drawbacks are nil. This club, I believe, is a perfect place for you to reach out beyond your potential.
Yeah, even I would say that there are no drawbacks. Yep, there are. I mean, looking back at my journey, I don't think that I am worried about any point specific.
That's really nice. So about the people who would want to get into the club, I'm sure your inductions for this year are over, but let us say next year the people want to get into the club. So how do you guys plan to induct people? What are you looking for when you induct a guy into the club?
Okay, so first thing is that our induction process is not yet over. Okay, let me come to that later. Our induction process, is basically designed in such a way that people who participate in the inductions, irrespective of whether they get into the club or not, we have to, or we, strive to make sure that they learn a lot of, tech, or they improve their skills, about their profiles that they choose to learn. I mean, as you know, that we don't restrict anyone to, apply to one profile or something. They can apply to as many profiles as they want, and they can, gain as much knowledge or as much skills as they want. So usually the induction process, starts with induction briefing. where we explain about various profiles in detail and all the work that is done by the profiles in Delta. So then once this is done and once the induction or mentorship process actually starts, a set of tasks are given to the mentorship, the people taking part in the mentorship process. So this usually happens during summer vacations. They're given soft deadlines to complete the task, to learn everything. So these deadlines are actually given with absolute beginners also in mind. So people who are actually starting out from scratch can learn the basics and even complete the task. So a mentor is allowed for each person to guide them throughout the summer. So once the academic year begins, then we conduct on-site mentorship tasks on the campus. Uh, Once the mentorship tasks get over, we shortlist people based on their performance, and then we take them to on-site mentorship processes. And once this on-site mentorship process is over, we then move them to what a day-long hackathon, which is actually the final step of our evaluation. So each and every task or every process of the induction is aimed mainly to improve the understanding of a person about that tech, or improve that person's skill. So nowhere throughout our inductions we have focused on actually inducting people rather than giving them good knowledge or good grasp over what they are learning. Yeah. So Sandy, do you want to explain about what we did this year?
Yeah. So coming to this year's induction process, we had an induction briefing online when usually we would have had it on campus, and we conducted a survey to assess how many candidates had access to a laptop or a computer during the summer. So on the basis of availability of a usable computer, we split our induction process into two tracks. And we've successfully conducted the inductions for track one candidates, that is, the students who had devices on which they could work on the task during the month of May. The only change in our induction process, I would say, was the time that we usually have on-site tasks like how Mario spoke about, but those got converted into timed online tasks, and our personal interviews were also held online. The platform used for this was Discord, and we had mentors available throughout the day to clarify doubts related to these timed online tasks. And also, track two inductions are still in progress, like Mario said earlier, and it'll continue the same way.
Yeah. So people who didn't have a laptop or who had other reasons that they were not able to participate in track one, they are right now working in track two.
Right. So you also mentioned profiles when you were talking about inductions, like you have a different number of profiles. So what are the different profiles that are available in Delta?
Okay, so for inductions, with respect to inductions, we have four profiles. There are web development and app development, which are basically developing web and Android applications, and system administration, which involves hosting applications and stuff like that, and open profile. So this open profile is something where you can explore any field of computer science that doesn't fall under web development, app development, and system administration. So usually we have people, trying out machine learning, artificial intelligence, game development, blockchain, and stuff like that in the open profile, in open profile. So during summer vacation, the candidates can choose any number of profiles they want to learn, by doing the respective tasks. A separate mentor, is allotted for each profile. So during the on-site task, a participant, is encouraged to choose only one profile, because the tasks get more tougher when it comes to on-sites and then later on in hackathon. So this would enable them to focus on one profile and gain the necessary prerequisites required for them to be able to contribute to Delta effectively. So this is regarding inductions, and even during inductions, we focus on making people learn as much as possible. Once the induction process is over, when people get into the club, there is no separation or any kind of profiles inside the team. Everyone is supposed to contribute to everything that is happening inside the club.
Yeah, for instance, I got inducted as in the system administration profile, but I ended up doing web development also. And I ended up experimenting with things like cryptography also. So, I mean, there is really no restriction at all based on what profile you want to explore.
Right.
And
So
Mario,
that sounded
your,
really.
yeah,
So
yeah.
basically, you have a different number of profiles just for the induction purpose. It serves no purpose after the inductions, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So a final question. So based on your 2 years of journey, so if you had to describe your entire course, how it has been for you, how would you do that?
I think I did that already.
We'll move on to Sandhya then.
Well, Well, so I would say that, I joined in as a person who is a little skeptical of, I used to try to live in the comfort zone. If I knew things, I just wanted to stay knowing those. And, I was very hesitant to try something I didn't know. But I think Delta really allowed me to reach beyond my potential and explore things which I don't know at all. Like for example, I mean, you'll find a lot of people doing machine learning. You'll find a lot of people doing, yeah. But I, I would say that I learned to even appreciate niche technologies, and that's something Delta really gave me, that experience and that peer group. So I'm very thankful to Delta for that.
Okay, so with that, we'll end our interview session. Thank you for joining us, Sandhya and Mario. That was Delta, and hope you guys learned something new from this interview.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
Ayush. Thank you, Technical Council, for this wonderful, initiative. Yeah, frankly, when I was in first year, I didn't know about any of the technical clubs. I got to know about Delta by some luck. So yeah, this is a really, really good initiative which will help first years.
Yeah, I really believe that this interview is going to serve, it's going to really be of great use to the incoming first years. They'll get to know exactly what's going around in campus. So, thank you for this.
Thank you for that, guys. Okay, thank you guys for watching. With that, we'll end up our interview today.